Greetings from the bowels of the Ohio County Public Library. I'm up here today for an event in connection with On Our Way Home Christmas book, available at Amazon, $3.99 for the ebook, $9.99 for the print edition. All proceeds go to the Humane Society of Harrison County, West Virginia, a local no-kill animal shelter that provides care and feeding for rescued dogs and cats until they get their permanent home. I had to, before I went to the event, say a few things about the changes with the Los Angeles Chargers. Peter King and I spent a lot of time on PFT Live talking about the situation under the assumption that change was coming either now or after the season. The fact that it came now and the fact that both head coach Brandon Staley and general manager Tom Telesco were fired is a significant message by ownership to the organization and to the rest of the league. Something had to happen after last night. Last night was a total embarrassment, and it came against one of their top rivals, the Las Vegas Raiders, a franchise that at one point they were joined arm in arm with to build a new stadium, and then things went haywire. They continue to be teams that face each other twice a year, competing for division championships. It was unacceptable last night when you consider one team is playing for nothing and still put on a great display, the other team playing for nothing and acting like they were simply going through the motions to get to the end of the season and move on. So now they move on from Staley and Telesco, which clears the path for them to go out and hire whatever combination of coach GM they want. They could hire a coach who runs everything. They could hire a GM and then a coach. They could do a partnership with a coach and a GM who work together. This is a clean slate. That's something that Peter King argued for, a clean slate. Now, we mentioned Tom Telesco once or twice this morning. There wasn't a sense that he was in serious trouble. After all, he's the guy that drafted Justin Herbert, and he's not the one coaching the team. But in order to get this team where it needs to be, ownership apparently realized you got to hit the reset button and you got to start over. Isn't it amazing? Telesco had been there 11 years, and there was never a sense that he was ever in any trouble on any type of a hot seat. I mean, the Chargers have been kind of middle of the pack-ish for as long as I can remember. They never go too high. They never go too low. And it never gets to the point where it bottoms out. But it did last night. 63-21, an effort that was characterized by lack of effort by plenty of players. And now they're going to spin it forward. And who knows what's going to happen. I said earlier today, if I had to guess right now, the next coach will be Jim Harbaugh. I have no reason to believe that other than, number one, last year, Harbaugh and Sean Payton were very interested in that job, but it didn't come open. Harbaugh looking for a path back to the NFL, I think he'd be interested, and I think he's exactly the guy that can come in and clear out the stink, especially after last night. Last night does damage because there's going to be guys on the team next year under contract who were trying last night and guys who weren't trying, and they have to coexist. Somebody's got to come in, and as I said today on PFT Live, clunk heads together like Mo Howard and get everything pointed in the right direction and get the most out of quarterback Justin Herbert. Harbaugh can do that. Bill Belichick, in theory, a possibility. Peter King was making the case for him. My concern would be, number one, he's not going to be there very long. Number two, he's not an offensive coach. And number three, what do you do next? Do you bring Bill Belichick with Josh McDaniels and then give it to McDaniels afterward as he continues his tour of the AFC West, where he basically tore up the Broncos and then the Raiders? I don't think so. I think Harbaugh makes more sense, and it needs to be somebody who is a proven head coach. I don't think you want to roll the dice with a coordinator who may or may not have the skill set necessary to become a head coach. Sometimes that works, and sometimes it doesn't. They tried it with Staley, and it didn't work. And we see what happens a lot of times. There's a pendulum for coaches. You get the exact opposite of the guy you had. So, rising coordinator, defensive side of the ball, that didn't work. We go the other way with a proven coach, offensive background, and the goal, get the most out of Justin Herbert, and don't run the risk of a defensive coach with an offensive coordinator who, if everything goes well, that guy becomes a head coach elsewhere. And then you got to find a new coordinator for Justin Herbert. They need stability. They need continuity. They need a head coach who is well-versed in offensive football, who will get the most out of a guy who they are paying like a franchise quarterback. So they believe he's a franchise quarterback. Now they need a coach who can get the most out of that franchise quarterback. And before I go, I got to show you this. There is all sorts of neat stuff down here. Check this out. I don't know how much of this you can see. This is Look magazine from, I think, 1967, December 26th of 67. Dean Martin talks about the mafia, women, his drinking, Sinatra, and Bobby Kennedy. And if you remember correctly, and if I remember correctly, I think Look magazine is the periodical into which Ralphie stuffed the Red Ryder BB gun ad so that his mother would not miss it. I don't know when Look magazine went out of publication, but as of December 26, 1967, Look, have a look. Look was still in existence. All right, that's it for now. I got to go do my thing. Thanks as always for some of your time. And we're signing off from the catacombs of the Ohio County Public Library. Have a great weekend.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.